Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mike Dolce Show. Here we are once again, just you and I sitting back, shooting down some delicious espresso, chatting it up. What are we talking about today? We're talking about making gains, baby. We're talking about diet gains. I'm going to lose this hat for those watching on the YouTube channel. That blue and black, baby, that's clashing. Black and blue, on the other hand, that's a little more my style when I talk about my emotions anyway. But really, I wanted to talk to you guys about making gains. Is it possible to make gains while on a diet? The common thought is that no, you can bulk. You can build. You can be in a caloric surplus and train heavy, train hard. But once it's time to diet, you have to change your training. You have to start training faster. You have to do isolation movements. You have to start squeezing. You have to do supersets. You have to increase the rest time between sets. Now, once we do that, once we stop training to gain muscle, once we stop training to gain strength, regardless of our caloric intake, what's going to happen? We're going to stop building muscle. We're going to stop building strength. That's the problem here. That's probably the biggest problem with your training and your lack of making gains during a shred, during shred season, during your summer body protocols. You simply start training like a softie, like a soft ass. I think I'll use that term, a soft ass. You start training like a soft ass. You become a cardio bunny. And what happens? All that beautiful, sexy, rugged, shapely muscle that you've built over the last 6 or 8 months simply depletes and fades away, falls into a flaccid, untrained state. You lose your contractile ability to push against the larger, heavier weights. That's not good. And that's why I wanted to talk to you today. Now, I am in the midst of my own shred season. As you know, if you watched yesterday's YouTube video, I started, or you follow my Instagram account, I started my own 21-day shred, my own 3 weeks to shredded campaign, where I will lose 21 pounds in 21 days. That's the goal of 3 weeks to shredded. And during this time, how do you think I'm training? Do you think all of a sudden I'm going easier in the gym? Do you think all of a sudden I've stopped doing the bent over rows and the deadlifts and the squats and the walking lunges and the underhand chins and the dips and all the heavy basic compound movements that got me to where I am? Do you think I just stopped that simply because I decided now is time to get shredded? Of course not. If anything, I'm only doing compound movements now. I'm only training hard and heavy now. That's the point of it. Now, where I can help you is, number one, give you this general paradigm shift. And number two, teach you to be more conscious of your output. So 3 weeks to shredded for me and for us is a cyclical caloric diet. It is a cyclical carbohydrate diet. Protein stays relatively static. Fats stay relatively static during the 21 days. But the carbs and the calories go up and down. We have days, I'm on a 2,500 calorie per day program. My normal intake, as you guys know, is approximately 32 to 3,500 calories per day. So I'm dropping on average 700 to 1,000 calories per day less than I normally take in. 2,500 calories is a lot of food. It's still a lot of food. And this comes from whole food sources, the 3 weeks to shredded program. But because I'm at 2,500 calories, generally, as a part of the program means I still go up over 3,000. Once, I think it's once every 6 days, I hit this bump and a refeed. I don't go lower than 2,200 calories on this program. So, do you see how the calories cycle? The carbohydrates will cycle also on this program during this time. As a result, I need to be very conscious of my energy output. I need to be very conscious of the glycolytic, the carbohydrate fueled activities. I need to be aware that when I am pushing the big weights, when I'm pushing those multi joint compound movements, my gas tank is static, it's fixed. I can't just go and keep carb loading and throwing more carbs in there to make sure I can continue and push through these training sessions. And everybody listening right now should give this video a thumbs up because this is valuable, valuable, valuable information to keep you making gains. So bang, 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 thumbs up. I can see the thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up. And hopefully that helps YouTube understand that this is a thumbs up worthy video of recommending to other people out there trying to make gains. So when I do train, I have to be very conscious of my output, very conscious of my workload, very conscious of my volume and the intensity, very conscious of the exercise selection. I can't train as long. I can't train with the same amount of total volume in the training sessions as compared to what I was doing 2 and 3 weeks ago when I was pushing those calories higher and higher and higher. I was fueling my training. Now, I just hit a PR yesterday on the bent over barbell Pendlay Yates row. It's a hybrid exercise that I love to do. I went up to 305 reps on the bent over row for 8. 305, 295. Excuse me. It was 295. That was 295. The week prior, fully fed state, it was 275. I hit 275. So during a caloric restriction period, during a diet, a shredding diet, I was still able to add 20 pounds to the bar and hit the same rep range. Now, I would put last week and this week at the same RPE of approximately 9 or so. The reps look almost identical, where that rep 7 and 8, you can see a little more body English last week and this week. All of my exercises, I've been able to add weight for the same reps as I was doing approximately 2 and 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week or so ago. I'm still pushing and performing in the gym. Now, I didn't do as many total sets on that exercise, and I didn't do as many total sets on the exercises after that. I've made a few small changes. Instead of doing 4 working sets, I'm doing 3 working sets right now. Next week, I'll likely do 2 working sets, 2 lighter bridge sets, and 2 main working sets. Again, pulling that volume down just a little bit with the goal of crushing that top end set, that last set, that most important set, that high intensity set. Pushing that number up, thereby pushing my strength up, thereby pushing my muscle growth up. That's the goal. The goal is to build and replicate lean muscle tissue to maintain or gain strength during this period. Now, would I say that 2,500 calories is a full calorie deficit? Hard to say. It's hard to say, but it is a reduction of what I have been doing previously. I've already seen dramatic results physically. Much of what I've seen over the last 3 days or so is water weight. The body will drop water weight initially. Total body water, total water volume will drop initially. Digestive efficiency has gone up. My energy has gone dramatically up. I'm bouncing off the walls all day. All day, every day, I'm bouncing off the walls. I love the strict meal timing. That's the one thing I miss primarily when I'm in my off season. I'm an intuitive eater. I still eat 4 to 6 times per day, but I eat a little bit more at each meal. I can let that timing flex a little bit more, an hour or so here or there, hour or so there, here or there. I can eat a little earlier, a little later. I can eat more based upon convenience to schedule. Now, in 3 weeks to shred it, I'm very specific. very specific to my meal timing. I don't go 15 minutes without having that next meal because I'm ready. I get that hunger 15 to 30 minutes before it's mealtime. I'm ready to go, and I don't overeat at these sittings. That's one of the biggest takeaways of being on 3 weeks to Shredded. So this video, this conversation, this podcast is to teach you to challenge your workouts even when you're going into a caloric deficit, when you're going into a shredding phase. Now, I've added additional, not even more, I wouldn't say more cardio, total hours per week, but I've really focused on daily cardio and segmenting that cardio. I'm hitting the 30 minutes. I'm doing more of the pre-core in the house. We just got a new toy in the house, got a new pre-core elliptical machine in the house. So I've been hitting that a lot more in the mornings right now. 30 minutes fasted every single morning. I'm crushing the pre-core. After I hit my weights, I'm doing two things. I'm either doing another 10 minutes of elliptical, low intensity elliptical after hard, intense weight training, or I'm going to do a little bit of bag work, a little bit of boxing work in the gym adjacent to the fitness center that I go to. And that's more of just kind of flow work for me. It is a higher heart rate for sure, but I'm building in a functional aspect of what I enjoy doing, and that is the martial arts. Also, another aspect that should not be forgotten is I get out and walk with my kids a lot. We get out, we go to the park, we walk around town, we go to the beach, we walk the boardwalk. Every single day we get out, we go in the backyard, we play soccer. I mean, I chase a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old around for about 30 to 60 minutes almost every late afternoon into the early evening. That is caloric expenditure. Now, I'm aware, like a mathematician, like Rain Man, of calculating all of my exertion. I'm very well aware of my exertion. So I can't discount that from a cardiovascular output. I throw them in the wagon. I drag the wagon. It's like this extended farmer's walk. Each kid weighs, 40 some odd pounds plus the wagon. It's like a 100-pound farmer's walk. It's more of a drag than anything else. I'm still aware of that, and I do consider that an active recovery cardiovascular type event, and I fuel into those events too. This matters for all the parents out there to be aware of getting out and making family time part of your health and fitness routine. I make sure that we do things. Even some days we just walk around the block, we walk around our neighborhood. I take my kids around the neighborhood and I teach them where they live, where their neighbors are, what the streets are, which ways to go, how to get back home. And we go in little quadrants around the way that we live. And I let my kids lead the way back home. That's kind of multitasking here as a dad, but at the same time, being very aware of my cardiovascular output. So this is something that hopefully should be very helpful to you guys. Now, my goal while on 3 weeks to Shredded is to lose, as I said, the 21 pounds in 21 days. But at the same time, it's to crush specific lifts in the gym. I want to crush my overhead press. I want to crush my bent over pendlay row. I want to crush my underhand chin, which should be easier as my body weight continues to drop. I want to crush my walking lunges, my timed walking lunges. I want to crush those events. I want to crush my weighted push-ups, which I put 40 pounds of chain on my back, and I'm scaling up more and more and more. So there you go. Just a little bit of it. We're 13 minutes in. So let me answer some questions here and see what we can do. Rob Summers, what's up? Naeem, how many times a week and how many minutes should I do cardio to increase cardio for MMA? Anywhere between let's say about 30 minutes a clip. And I would say at least 4 to 6 days per week on average. We want to build that aerobic base, but also start working on some higher intensity intervals. Elijah, is sugar in fruit bad? No. And what's the difference between that sugar and processed sugar? Processed sugar is disgusting and terrible for you. Fruit is excellent and amazing for you. And you can't separate the sugar in a fruit from all the other cofactors in fruit. So when we talk about processed foods versus whole foods hands down are always better. Anelius, what's up, coach? Your thoughts, DHEA for a 40-year-old male. Thanks for all you do. DHEA likely is a great step forward for those in that age category, to which I'm 43. I'm in that age category also. I would say get your blood work done and discuss it with your doctor first. That's very important. Take in. I love compound movements. Me too. Naeem, can I gain muscle with a strong resistance band? Yeah, I've seen it done. It's challenging though. It limits the total movement patterns that you can employ. It changes the strength curve. Sisal, should a person's diet protocol change at all when having shoulder surgery to help recovery, or just need more of the same, living lean, etc.? So if you're following our living lean program, if you have the living lean book, or if you're following the online living lean personalized diet plan, that's the type of food you should be eating. Total caloric intake will change just a little bit, because you have to couple in what is your total energy expenditure. Has it been dramatically reduced? But also, you need the raw materials to rebuild the injured area. So that's a good question. Elijah, how much is 3 weeks to shredded? Well, if you go to thedolcediet.com right now, you click on the 4 weeks of 3 weeks to shredded, because we give you a bonus week, it will be $99. If you use the promo code DolceTube, you will save 10% off of that purchase. But if you sign up for the 12-week program, which is the best savings option, that is $149. And if you add in the Dolce Tube promo code, I think you're paying only $134. So you could be paying $134 for a 12-week plan instead of $99 or so for a 4-week plan. The 12-week plan, you get all 4 weeks of 3 weeks of shredded, plus the 8 weeks of living lean. That is always what I would recommend. Seth, what's up, Seth? Good to see you. So, what are your best tips for soreness, active recovery, massage, foam rolling, infrared sauna, ice bath, cold water immersion, lots of water intake? Elijah, are eggs bad for you? I see a lot of people say they are. It depends upon the individual, but science has come out now supporting the benefit of moderate egg consumption for the average healthy adult. I would strongly suggest you speak with your doctor first. You make sure that you are a healthy responder to eggs. Personally, I typically eat 12 to 18 eggs per week, and I have a 0 calcium heart score, which is the best score possible. David Keller, so cutting working sets, keeping intensity high on a calorie deficit. What would you do if you don't hit a PR for the next workout following? Well, I do rotate. I use a form of undulating periodization where I do rotate through my main accessory lifts. Now, I am the type of person that has notebooks filled it with all of my workouts on it. It's a dirty, bloody, coffee stained little memo pad notebook, and I got stacks of them. So I know I've peaked out on those bent over Penlay rows. I've done them for 3 weeks in a row now, 4 sessions of those over 3 weeks. Calorie surplus or deficit, I'm burnt out on the movement. Very happy to move away from that. What I do now is I look at my former PRs and pushing those top end sets. So what I will do now, likely and unfortunately, the gym I go to only has 125-pound dumbbells. So I can do dumbbell rows with 125s for sets of 15 easy with perfect form. I should do a video on those. I do it perfect form, and there's videos of me doing 150s for sets of 12 with damn near perfect form even. I need like the 150s to the 180s or so. So what I started doing now is I started doing single arm T-bar rows, which I'm really enjoying, and I can go pretty heavy on that. Yesterday, I went up to 150. That's 6 25-pound plates, smaller circumference 25-pound plates, single arm. So I'm doing sets of 8 or so with those, and I'm going to see how high I can bring those and stack those. I get a great carryover from those. So cutting work sets. Sammy, what's the reason you're against milk? Milk is very difficult for the average healthy adult to digest. It causes severe digestive disruption and discomfort. Rule number 1 is do no harm. Milk jacks up most people. Also, the type of sugar in milk is very difficult, once again, to digest. There are much better nutrient sources than cow's milk. Lightning, what are your thoughts on linear progression, minimalist routines like starting strength for long-term lifting career? I'm not opposed to that, but as you become, that's starting strength is really good for beginners through intermediates, let's say. Not so good for the rank novice who has no patterning, but for the beginner through the intermediate, once you get to the advanced level, I would be considered an advanced lifter respectfully. I've been doing it for 30 plus years and lifted rather large numbers and very proficient in all these areas. That doesn't work anymore. Linear progression just doesn't work anymore for someone like myself. I get the most benefit. Most advanced athletes get the most benefits focused on special strengths or really in bringing up weak areas, weak links. That's where I see, most of us see the best carryover, the best turnover, the best way to improve absolute strength. Boxing stuff. Is it ever okay to not have post-workout carbs? I rarely ever do. Usually I'll trickle in a whey protein isolate, get those aminos in there. Balance boy, any thoughts on one meal a day at breakfast, 2 to 3 hours eating intervals? Any thoughts on one meal a day when you're already shredded to the rest of digestive to get a better sleep? 2 to 3 hour eating interval. I don't understand that question. If you could, the snake diet is garbage. 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 It's garbage. The snake diet is garbage. It's one of the crappiest things I've ever seen. Totally false. If you ask me, there's no elite athlete, no moderate athlete, no regional athlete, no local athlete that will have any sort of performance improvement. It'll be a detriment to performance. It makes absolutely no sense. It's silly, silly, silly. Naeem, is it true that cardio can burn fat if you do it after doing weight training? Well, yeah, cardio can burn fat no matter when you do it, because you're burning calories, right? And if you're borderline, let's say you need 2,500 calories per day, you eat your 2,500 and then you do an hour of cardio, you've just burnt 400, 600 calories right there. You're in a deficit, you're losing weight. It is best when fasted, in my opinion, and that of many other individuals, and that's supported by much quality science, because you've expended much of your glycogen post workout, post high intensity workout. It's a good way to hopefully squeeze out a little bit of fat storage to fuel that energy and workout, not just the total calories burned. And there's different ways to look at it. Some people look at cardio only as calories burned. They don't focus on the substrate used to fuel that cardiovascular event. Elijah, what's the best training split for a baseball player? Baseball players need to focus a lot on prehab work. They need to make sure that their joints, their elbows, their wrists, their hips, their ankles, their knees are all healthy and intact. That's the most important thing. I would like to see most baseball players working with a physical therapist instead of a strength coach, just to give you a mental idea. Yes, they should be working with both, but a physical therapist will really help to bulletproof those joints. And that's a big issue. You see, most baseball players, they have joint issues, right? Ligament and tendon issues. They don't tend to tear quads or pecs or things like that. They blow out their shoulders and elbows and knees and ankles. Luca, how does living lean work, Uncle Mike? Does it actually tell me how many calories to consume and what foods to eat? So you go to thedolcediet.com, you join the 12-week living lean and 3 weeks of shredded bundle, and everything you need is detailed for you. Every meal, every recipe, every ingredient is personalized for you, for your exact situation, for your background, for your training history, for your lifestyle, and for your forward moving goals. You don't have to think about anything. It's all there for you. It's all programmed for you. I think I closed the one out that I've been using on my, oh, nope. Did I? Yep. I closed it out. Let me see if I can sign into it briefly as I'm here talking with you guys, Luca, so I can show you how easy and convenient it is. Bam. Look at this. That's my program right now. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Let's see. dinner. Everything is here. Everything is there. And even, let's see, exercise page. This is all the dolcediet.com. This is what happens. This is what you get when you join up, you become a member. The 3 weeks of shredded program, the living lean program, it is all here for you. And that's it's all here for you. It's on your laptop, it's on your mobile, it's on your tablet. It's all here for you, Luca. So I hope that helps you. Blue Falcon, Taco Bell is a good weight loss food. Yeah, because you're in the toilet all day. Elijah, you're cool, Elijah. Jay-Z. What are some tips to increase testosterone? I heard fasting helps a lot. That would be crap, I would say. Tips to increase testosterone: go to your doctor and get your blood work done. That's the first step. Get your blood work done. Look for deficiencies. Look for abnormalities. That's the step one. That's the most important thing. Are you sleeping 7.5 to 9 hours per night? Are you minimizing external stress in your life? Are you training intelligently and intensely? 30 to 45 minutes, 3 to 5 days per week? That's what you need to be doing. Are you eating a diet of nutrient dense foods? That's what you need to do. That's how you boost your testosterone to the best of your natural ability. If you find that you can't for some reason, then you need to start looking further. But many times, like someone had asked previously about DHEA, sometimes it could be a DHEA and or pregnenolone imbalance because you have a deficiency. Maybe it's a vitamin D deficiency. Maybe you just need to start taking more supplemental vitamin D. How would you know that, though? If you don't get your blood work done. Go get your blood work done, everybody. Go sit down. Become friends with your doctor, please. Zach C. Sonnen versus Machida. Who you got? Also, Chael's old lady is a smoke show. Chael, of course. Chael's going to smash him. Chael Sonnen is the greatest athlete in the history of the world ever. Chael, of course. How come I see these intermittent fasting people lose weight eating garbage foods? Because they're in extreme caloric deficits and they're idiots. They're idiots. They're idiots. That's why they're idiots. And they'll always bounce back. Give it a few days or a few weeks. They will bounce back. They'll normalize their eating. They'll start eating the way that they used to. They'll have no benefit, no foundation, and they'll simply just blow it up. So all the water weight they lost will just come squeezing back into their system. Brian, what is worse for a person, drinking milk or eating a burger and fries from McDonald's? I would likely say the burger and fries from McDonald's, not knowing what type of milk. Maybe they're drinking almond milk, right? There you go. What would you recommend, RD Carey says, as a substitute for baby formula? I asked our pediatrician and she said whole milk. I would say mother's milk. Mother's milk from the actual human teat, not from the cow teat. How about that? What do you think about Jeff from Athlean X? I think Jeff is a smart guy. I think Jeff's information when it comes to exercise physiology and physical therapy is very good. I think Jeff gets criticized because he puts out so much content. A lot of the more content you put out, the more open you are to criticism. Some of Jeff, not a lot. I like Jeff and we have friends in common, but some of his content is it's just YouTube gold. It's clickbaity gold. But when you're an actual strength coach or a higher level trainee in the industry, you know that stuff doesn't work. So a lot of what Jeff is talking to, Jeff is usually talking to the newbies into training. And that's not a disrespect. The people who don't know much about training, the beginners, the novice and the beginners. Most of Jeff's content goes to the novice and beginners, the young lads who are trying to put on some muscle and get laid. That's most of what he's talking about. And he gets criticized heavily for that, but he's got the biggest fitness channel on YouTube, and he's probably making $1 million or more per year from it. So can't get mad at Jeff for this. Excuse me. Boss says, you left your underwear in my trailer. I don't know what that means because I don't wear underwear. How about that, dude? Zach, Cowboy versus Tony was awesome, but the stoppage was bullshit. Tony smoked him in the face way after the bell, and then they said he wasn't DQ'd because the cheap shot didn't hit the eye. Man, that's the game. I've been in the game long enough to know it is what it is, man. Cowboy got paid. Tony got paid. Cowboy's still 2 fights away from a world title shot, and he could step in on a moment's notice if someone gets hurt. So I predict Cowboy will fight for a title within the next 2 years, and he's going to make more money than almost every athlete in the UFC history. Greedy, please, would you go over your hygienic routine and what your preferred toothpaste soaps are? Greedy Salvation, I will do that. I forgot to take the photo of my toothpaste. I will go over that for you. But I am a germaphobe. I shower 2 to 3 times per day. I'm pretty germ averse. Marie, love seeing you go live. Thank you so much for all you do. Marie, I appreciate that. And everybody listening, give me a thumbs up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up. Hopefully this information is helpful for you. Hopefully some of this information is actionable. Hopefully this information is appreciated. At the very least, the thumbs up let me know that you appreciate all this free content that I try and give you each and every day. And hopefully this will allow YouTube to understand that you appreciate this channel and you guys can help this channel grow. I think YouTube has been kind of shadow banning, shadow blocking me, not recommending me, because I see some crappy channels with crappy information getting recommended into my feed for some reason. I don't know. I think it's because I'm a potty mouth. I think that's why. I do think that's why. That's what I've been told anyway. So I'm trying not to be a potty mouth. I'm trying to be a good, upstanding, non-political citizen. I've never been political. RD Carey, wife cannot breastfeed. We tried 3 different doctors to remedy it, but no luck. And that happens. Can she pump is the question. My own wife, she breastfed our first daughter for over a year, which was awesome. Our second daughter was like 6 months or so. And then she had to rely heavily on pumping. And that was a challenge. I felt so bad for her. That was a challenge for her, but she was able to get it done. Zachary, what do you think about sauna use pre-workout? I'm not a fan of that. It's an ass kicker. Boxing stuff. What do you think of Rousey doing WWE? Cha-ching, baby. Ronda got paid. What's your opinion on Andy Ruiz? He will put guys like you out of business. I don't understand what that means. I think Andy Ruiz is a great athlete, great fighter. I think Andy Ruiz would be an even better, more successful athlete if he was more fit. I think he would live a longer, more healthy life if he was more fit. Any human, regardless of sport, has a much higher incidence of all-cause mortality for men above 15% body fat. That's the facts. That's the stats. All guys out there, if you have 15% body fat or higher, you are at much higher risk of all-cause mortality. Yikes. I don't care about a one-punch knockout. He's a tough dude. I'm a big fight fan, right? Awesome. Good fight. Big deal. Big deal, dude. Big deal, dude. Elijah, what do you think about Phil Daru? Phil's my man. I think Phil's awesome. What he's doing is amazing. I think his content is great. I've had the ability to hang out with him a little bit. We've done a seminar together. We've had dinner together. He's been on my podcast before. We chit chat on the phone. Phil Daru's a real deal, man. I'm a big fan of Phil. Andy Gibbs, Adam Gibson. Hey, coach, one of my friends recommended intermittent fasting. I'm trying to tell him it's not good because you lose muscle mass. Can you confirm this for me? Yes, this is true. This is true. Now, it takes a little bit of time, but 3 weeks or so, 6 weeks, 12 weeks, gone. Muscle gone, performance dips, feel like crap. And what I would say is like, dude, let's do it. You do your intermittent fasting. I'll do the Dolce diet. We're going to go on a 12-week program and we're going to have benchmarks. We're going to hit a 3-mile run 4 times, fastest time, competing against each other, but competing against yourself. Do a double body weight squat, full parallel powerlifting legal squat, 4 reps, double body weight, 4 reps. It shouldn't be a single rep. It should be multiple reps. It should be many reps. I would do an underhand chin competition, 4 reps. And you would have to, when we do underhand chins, it's not getting your chin above the bar. You have to be able to touch your chest to your fingers at the top, not your chin, but you have to touch your chest to your fingers at the top. That's the way that we do it, or it doesn't count. I would do that and say, let's go. Let's see what happens. And then if you have the opportunity to get in a DEXA scan, bod pod, or a dunk tank, do that. Watch what happens. He's going to fall to crap. Me neither. Why does a channel like yours not have more subs? Well, you guys giving us a thumbs up will dramatically help that. I've spoken to a few people who are experts in the field who believe that we don't have subs. We don't get recommended because we're on this gray list right now. It could be because I'm a bit of a potty mouth and I cursed in many of the videos in the past because I'm open and transparent and honest. And it might be deemed as offensive content or content that can't be promoted. So I'm trying to clean it up. Also, because I watch YouTube videos of individuals like Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro. It could be because of that, because I like those type of commentaries and content while being a very apolitical person in many ways. I don't really care. All politicians are liars and cheats and steals and all that stuff. But I like Joe. I've been on Joe's show twice. A big fan of that. I think Jordan Peterson has great content, but so does Warren Buffett. And I watch tons of his stuff. So I watch tons of real estate information, tons of investing information, tons of health and fitness information, and tons of comedy. I don't watch anything political. But when you name the names that I'm watching, well, finance, that seems to be more right-leaning or what else? Real estate investing, that seems to be more right-leaning, which blew my mind. And these are coming from two experts and one person who has a very big channel. And I'm like, yeah, man, you can't be doing that. Like, you got to watch your YouTube on a dark channel. You got to set up a whole other channel if you're going to watch YouTube on that stuff. I was like, I can't watch Joe Rogan. I can't watch Joe Rogan because that's going to get me like blocked on a YouTube algorithm. They're like, yeah, very possible. And mind blown. That's the honest answer. How crazy is that, by the way? How crazy is it? I had no idea. It blew my mind. I could see it because what you watch in the media. I don't know that that's true. So I'm trying to, for YouTube, I'm trying to play the YouTube game and just give great content. I'm not cursing. Very straightforward. This is a health and fitness channel. I'm a health and fitness expert, and I don't care about anything politically. I want everybody to live healthy lives and do what you do and have fun and take care of the world and all that good stuff. It's just crazy. But you guys can help this channel to grow by constantly, by giving thumbs up. I appreciate those, by leaving comments, not just in the chat, but leaving comments, even if it's just a thumbs up, Dolce, or a boom, or whatever, or full questions. I can answer all that stuff. And then even if you want to share this channel through some of your other social networks, that will help this channel to grow. The goal is to grow this channel. We're trying to grow this channel. Alex Bry, hey, Mike, in the morning, fasted state, I am doing 1 hour of bodyweight exercises. 1 hour. I missed it. Sorry, I got to scroll up. 1 hour of body weight exercises, Matt, air squats, burpees. What energy I have spent? Mostly glycogen. You're burning a lot of glycogen. I mean, you're burning calories. You're zooming your metabolism. You're going to lose fat. I mean, I got a lot of good. I mean, you look at a wrestler, you look at gymnasts. They're body weight exercise all day long, and they are yoked. So I'm never going to tell you not to do body weight work, but I do want to see you do some lower intensity work too. Alex, I asked because I want to know how to eat after the exercise. I have emptied the glycogen stores. I should intake some simple sugars. We almost always start the day with a high carbohydrate meal. Almost always. Alex, I'm trying to gain weight by gaining muscle without lifting weights. I'm trying to gain weight by gaining muscle without lifting weights. That's going to be challenging to do it without lifting weights. Jay Tour, great stream. Could you give a ballpark estimate of calories for weight loss? Is something like 12 calories for goal weight a good baseline? It's probably closer to 10, but I would start at 12 and back into it, not knowing how lean you are, not knowing what your metabolic efficiency is, and yada, yada, yada. Brian, do you think Cyborg could get Ronda money in the WWF? Just to fight her? Cyborg can make 7 figures for sure. She's talented. She's a talented athlete. Angel, your thoughts on medicinal mushrooms like chaga, lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps? Yeah, I'm a fan of those. I don't have a ton of data nor a ton of experience on those. I am very, very, very interested in the new wave of legalization of psilocybin. That's actually a huge step forward for other areas. But there's some, yeah, I'm a fan of mushrooms. Edgar, hey, coach, hope you are having an awesome day. What are your thoughts on Lane Norton and his notion that a calorie is a calorie no matter the source? Lane is a shill, man. Lane's a shill. A calorie is not a calorie, right? What? So that means that you can just live on Pop-Tarts? And I don't know. Let's be fair. I don't want to totally take Lane out of context because I didn't see his exact quote, though I've seen him say something to the effect of that clean eating is unsustainable. Eating real food is unsustainable. Yeah, that's like saying being happily married is unsustainable, right? So I don't take a lot of what Lane says as fact. A lot of it's hyperbole. He's a salesman, in my opinion, more than anything else. And Lane has made so many unsolicited attacks on me. I don't feel bad about talking smack or telling the truth, really, because that's what it is. A calorie is definitely not a calorie. But to be fair, I don't know the context with which that statement was said, and I don't want to take it out of context. Bruce started 3 weeks of shredded the same time you did, 267 to 262 in 5 days while eating till satisfied. Thanks, Dolce. I feel great. Bang! Bruce Winchell is down 5 pounds in 3 days following our 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com. You can start right now with promo code DolceTube, save 10%. Get in the best shape of your life. July 4th is coming. Why not be smoking hot by July 4th? Why not lose 21 pounds in 21 days? Why not lose 5, 10, 15, 20 or more pounds over the next 3 weeks by following 3 weeks to shredded, the most successful, healthy weight loss program ever devised, as proven by the world's greatest athletes with a 100% success ratio. That's right. Only we can make that claim. The Dolce diet has been in use for over 20 years while working with the world's greatest athletes competing at elite levels inside the UFC, in professional boxing, in the Olympics, in the NCAAs. 100% success ratio with the world's greatest athletes competing in the harshest of conditions. That's available for you guys at thedolcediet.com. Suzuki, I love this channel. Any advice for a bigger appetite? Shakes seem to go through me, so I've quit them. Yeah, shakes can jack you up in a little while. What I would do is I would eat a little smaller, but a little bit more often. Maybe you're just kind of overeating on a certain meal. Try and get more. It's total calories throughout the day. So I would, with you, I'd take a few different ways. So step one, I'd say, you know what? Cut your meals down to 60 or 80%, but try and add 2 or 3 extra meals per day. See how that goes. And then we can also talk about calorie-dense foods. Zachary, can you briefly explain why you don't agree with the sauna use before the workout? Have you ever been in a sauna? Fuck, man, a sauna kicks your ass. Try not to curse. Sauna can beat you up. What are you going to do? You're going to walk in with all your clothes, your sweatsuit and whatnot, your lifting belt, and you're going to sit in the sauna for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes. Why not just go through a dynamic warm-up? Be an athlete. I work with athletes all day, every single day. I work with athletes all day, every single day. We don't do sauna work before a workout. We start to move their body through full ranges of motion. We prime the central nervous system. We get ready to train. We don't cook in an oven. And I say that respectfully, but trying to be helpful. Dave Keller, Mike, your knowledge in fitness and dieting is the best in YouTube. I appreciate that, sir. Look, cover of Men's Fitness, most influential. How about that? 4-time world MMA trainer of the year. Sports Illustrated says Mike Dolce is one of the most sought after coaches in sport. That's for a reason. Nobody gives it free and honest as I do. Nobody is as transparent and open as I am. And I give it to you guys straight every single time. Me neither. Why aren't you a vegan? If I remember correctly, your diet is 90% plant-based, so why not go all the way? Because I can't go all the way. I've tried going vegan a few times before. Truly, being 100% vegan is not the most optimal health or performance philosophy, nutrition philosophy. With respect, now I have a 90+% plant-based ingredient list. But wild-caught salmon, I'm waiting for the vegan to explain to me why wild-caught salmon is bad, is going to make me sick. And we'll just start there. Or egg whites. Why is that going to make me sick? Or whey protein isolate. Why is that going to make me sick? Why? What negative outcome is that going to have? We'll just start there. Your thoughts on weed? Puff, pass, man. You know the rules. Puff, pass. Don't be bogarting that Not with me in the room. Chris, who wins the Mr. O 2019? Boom. Who wins? You know, I'm still putting Sean Roden at the top of the list. After what he's done, I think his body's going to snap back. He has that Kevin Levrone type of physique where he'll snap back pretty quick. I don't think Phil's coming back. I don't think Phil's ever going to reclaim. I think he's got that waist issue. Bonac, I think, is too small. He can't win. I don't know if they'll give it to a guy like Brandon Curry. His wheel's still got to come up. He looks a little odd from the front. No disrespect. He looks amazing from the waist up. From the waist down, there's a little bit of a disconnect. Man, I tell you what, if Luke Sandow can dial it in, truly dial it in, I think Luke Sandow has the structure to be a Mr. Olympia worthy competitor. If he can dial it in, if he can go through the same transformation like a Brandon Curry did, I could see Luke Sandow doing it. I don't see Big Ramy ever. Big Ramy, in my opinion, should retire. His career should be over from a health perspective, in my honest opinion. Who else? I mean, I think those are the guys, right? Alex, hey, coach, what are the similarities, differences between 1 hour moderate running and 1 hour moderate swimming in terms of type? I think it depends on your efficiency. Some people can swim all day and keep their heart rate very low. Me, when I get in the pool, I damn near drown, so it's a fight. Me swimming in a kiddie pool is like me just trying not to die. So I burn a shit ton, pardon my cursing. I burn a ton of calories while swimming. I don't enjoy running, but I've run my whole life. Wrestling, we typically would run 5 miles before practice. We'd run 10, 12 miles, half marathons on the weekends. We'd trail run. I've run my entire life. I'm pretty efficient when it comes to running, so I could run much more efficiently. Now, some people are terrible runners, but they can swim like a fish. So it depends on the individual. Yay, mushrooms all day. Right on. Brian, what vegan has been UFC champion to your knowledge? None. What vegan is a professional athlete? 1% maximum. On it, and that's the truth. Same thing with keto. If the ketogenic diet works so well, how come there's no ketogenic, or how come no professional athletes follow a ketogenic diet or intermittent fasting for that matter? Why is that? How about all the professional athletes on the planet? The vast majority follow a very moderate whole food eating program, just like we suggest here at the Dolce Diet. Why is that? Every elite athlete follows a big, robust diet of real food all day long. Why is that? They don't follow these BS fad diet programs that these crappy PhDs and fake-ass fitness frauds try and get you to believe. That's the truth. Kai Green, that's a good point. I forgot about Kai. Kai Green could come back and win it. He could come back and win it, but we'll see. When was the last time? He hasn't been in shape for a few years now. That Olympia shape, we'll see. And he's a little older. He could come in and do it. That's a good point. Meaning the calisthenics exercise for lower body examples, please. Huge fan of the bodyweight squat, the walking lunge, greedy salvation, and you choose to live on the beachfront. Absolutely. I worked my whole life to buy a beach house, right? So at my tender young age, I'm a happy dude, put it that way. I work my ass off to live the life that I live, provide for my family the way that I do. Boxing stuff. Keto is trash for performance. Amen. AAX. Coach, what are your thoughts on higher carb meals at dinner instead of breakfast? That can work based upon your expenditure and your sensitivities. Alex Bry, I was told that while running, if you go past a certain threshold, you ruin your run. That's not true. Nothing but, it depends on what your goals are. That could be true based upon your goals. All right, guys and gals, it is time for me to go. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back. Remember, bang, 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 bang. Thumbs up this video, leave comments below, share this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and then turn on notifications. Make sure you're getting notifications. If you have them on and you're not getting notified, let me know in the comments below. I've gotten a few people that's saying that too. Again, the conspiracy continues. Thank you all for being here. And until next time, boom.